Okay. After I did that, I started putting everything together. Then came the question of four-wheel steering. Do I want four-wheel steering or do I not? I like four-wheel steering. It's easier to turn. You cannot use this in a competition. I'm not going to be doing any competitions with this particular one. So this is more like around the house and backyard basher. Well, not really basher, but you know, my backyard crawler. So I went with the my favorite Hi-Tech HS645 MGs, front and rear, aluminum arms. I even stripped the green off the factory steering links, top and bottom. I actually had to, since it didn't come with these in the kit, it actually had the two little turnbuckles about that long. I actually left them on there for a point of reference. They look like little a hitch ball from the back of a pickup truck. You would screw one of these in here and also one over here. You screw one in here and one in here, and then the turnbuckle would actually lock these two together, keeping your rear wheels straight. Well, since I wanted the rear steer, I went to Advance and I bought this brake line. Everybody's seen this brake line if you've dealt with crawlers. It's the new brake line with the ugly greenish gray looking coating on it. Well, I cut it to length, took that same Scotch-Brite that I had on my Dremel and just Scotch-Brited the coating off. And it turned out looking just like brushed aluminum. So after that, I got my steering going. Everything's assembled. Then we went to electronics. The simplest radio receiver package to get a hold of, in my opinion, is the TQ3 from Traxxas. It's simple, it's easy to use, and for what I use it for on this, it worked perfect. I had the radio and receiver laying around, so I threw it on here. There's the receiver. On the bottom, you'll notice, if you'll notice about my kits, I like to hide everything. Like if you used to look at this kit with the body on it, the only thing you would see will be the servos and the servo wires. You'll see guys making plates, putting the receiver here and their ESC up here, or vice versa, or putting everything here, or mounting stuff on top, or making... I didn't like that idea. So I put my receiver under there. There is my ESC. I'm trying this one out. It's a new ESC to me. They're called, let me see if I can get it to go in there. They're called AI. So far it's a small servo, about a ½ inch wide, maybe, a ½ inch thick at the case, and an 1¼ inch by 1¼ inch. They're actually smaller than the V16R that I'm so, you know, happy to use. If you'll look at these spade connectors on there, it's just because I haven't soldered those into the motor yet. Those are temporary, don't worry. As for that ESC, it does good except for two problems. There's no on-off switch. You plug it in, the kit's on. Okay? It does good going forward. It has automatic braking, so when you let off the trigger, your kit stops and it, you know, hold itself, drag brake, whatever you're going to say, hold itself on a heel. But reverse, when you put it in reverse, there is no slow going. You go into reverse, you're in reverse. I mean, you're gone in reverse. It's 3 times as fast in reverse when you barely touch it than it is when you're going forward. And that's a big downfall, especially for a crawler. I know it's probably not designed for a crawler, but it should still work the way it's designed to. Okay, this little kit right here, this little unit right here, is made by a company called Punk Rock RC. and this thing is definitely punk rock. This is a 4-wheel steering unit from Punk Rock RC. This little thing is great. I'm not going to take that tray off so you can see. It's got 4 wires coming out of it. 2 on the top. It's got 2 on the top and 2 on the bottom. You plug 2 into your receiver, channel 1 and channel 3, and then the other 2 plugs are from the front servo and the rear servo. Now, this little thing does everything. So when you have your radio, you're in channel 1, you turn it, your front wheels turn by themselves. Okay? You put it in channel 3 and turn, your wheels will turn like this, or like this, which is called a crab walk. So it'll go this way instead of a tight turn either direction. You can do rear lockout steering with 4-wheel steering, or you can do 4-wheel steering with crab walk, or any variations of the 3. You know, rear lockout, all-wheel steering, or the crab walk, where they turn in the same direction. And that's, oh, and you also have, instead of trying to trim up everything on your trim knobs on your radio, right there, no need to mess with the radio. You stick your screwdriver in there on those pots, and forward and front and rear, you can control it all from there. There's also a little switch right there, you can see it. You actually have to go in there with a screwdriver to click it, but that switches your selector from 4-wheel steering to both of them going in the same direction for the crab walk. This little thing right here, they sell them on eBay for $64. I actually know the guy that builds these. His name is Robin. He lives out west. This guy's a genius when he came up with this. He also has another unit that will do 4-wheel steering, lights, winch. I mean, he's got these things down to a science where they'll do anything for a remote control. Okay, I've you know, blabbed on that enough. For motor, I went with the Novak 55 turn that everybody seems to like on these kits. I figured I would give it a try. I've never tried one. I always used brushless, or the only really brushed motors I'd used were Integy or Integy, you know, 45 and 55 turns for my other crawlers. But I figured I'd go with this one since, you know, I got a good deal on it at the hobby shop. But as far as this goes, in my opinion, on this kit, this thing is awesome. I mean, it goes good. It's got good articulation, but not too much. Like, you know, some of the bigger super scale crawlers are, you know, way too much articulation. But as far as that, I mean, this is a great kit. So I believe that'll do it. You guys have a good one.